Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. Today I want to chat with you guys about my most anticipated reads for 2025. Let's get started and talk about it. Part of the reason these are my most anticipated is because I really like the authors. There's some authors that I like all their books. Now some of their books I might like more than others, but I don't dislike any of their books, okay? Then there's some authors that I love some of their books, but I don't love some of them. I might really love some of their books and not like some of their books, if that makes sense. So it could be a combination. You guys might have some authors like that too, where you're like, wow, I love this book. Then you read the next book they wrote and you're like, I didn't like that. You know, so these authors I really like. The first one, I'm in the process. This is at the end of February. I just started reading it. I might be able to finish it by the very end of February, but I might go into March on it, so I'm not sure. And it's by Mel Robbins. It's called The Let Them Theory. I absolutely love this. I don't know if you guys know who Mel Robbins is. Probably. She is basically in the self-help genre. But bottom line is, we spend so much of our life worrying and caring about what other people are doing rather than focusing on ourselves. The Let Them Theory is basically allowing people to be themselves, and not saying you don't ever help or, you know, that you don't care about other people, but that we're not trying to control them. We let them make their choices for their life, what's suited for them, and stay in our own lane. I've been using this theory in my life, but I definitely could improve on it, and it has been really helping me. And now that I've been incorporating this Let Them Theory in my life, I have a lot more peace. But I still need to learn more. But I just started the book. It's very, very good. What I love about Mel Robbins, and I like books like this, is she gives a lot of real life examples of things that affect her life, which I love that. So she's very relatable, which I enjoy that. Okay, number two, I adore this author. I've loved every one of her books. Her name is Liv Constantine. She doesn't write as many books as I would love her to, but the book is called Everyone is a Liar. Hey, I love the title. And basically, she is a successful mystery writer, and she found out that her husband is having an affair. That's all I know, and I'm not going to go into long details on all these because I haven't read them yet. But I'll give you what I think about the books after I read them. Okay, number three, I'm really interested in reading this book. And I didn't write down the name of the author on this one, but it's called We Used to Live Here. Basically, a couple moves into an old Victorian house. They get a great deal on it. And, you know, somebody that used to live in that house comes to visit. And they want to see what the house looks like now. Have you ever heard about people doing that? Hey, you know, we used to live here 20 years ago. We're just curious what the house looks like now. And they rap on your door. Can we come in? Well, they have a hard time getting rid of the strangers. That's all I know. But does that not sound interesting? Okay, the next one is by an author that I absolutely love. Read every one of her books. I've loved all of her books. And her name is Geneva with a J, Geneva Rose. And the book is called The Perfect Divorce. Anyway, I think it sounds really good. And it's basically about a woman who wants a divorce, and can they do it amicably? But obviously there's a lot of stuff that goes along. It is a thriller, okay? And then another book that I want to read is called My Darlings by Marie Still. And this is what I call a PTA mom and a serial unaliver. Anyway, it sounds pretty, I don't know if it's kind of humorous, supposedly, but it sounds really interesting, so I'm interested in reading that. Last but not least, Freida McFadden, the lady who is one of my favorites. She wrote a book called The Tenant that's coming out, and basically it's about a guy named Blake. His life was going perfect, but he has a nice, beautiful home, and he has a fiance, but he got fired from his job and is having a hard time making ends meet, and so he rents a room to a tenant, and all sorts of stuff starts happening. Sounds really good. I thought The Crash was a pretty good book, but I loved the one right before that, The Boyfriend. I liked it more, but this Tenant sounds right up my alley. So, out of all these books I mentioned, would any of them interest you? I'm going to put in the links below if any of you want to check these out. That's all I have to say for now. Love you, appreciate you, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Bye, everybody.